Welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids Podcast. And we are live from the Toyota Lounge at DNVR, driven by your Furnish Toyota stores. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. Wonderful show lined up today. And let's just get straight to the intro so we can get to the important stuff. Downtown Duane Brown is here.
Hello. I was waving, but those of you listening can't see that. My apologies.
Cowboy Super Yaya is here.
Hi, Yaya.
Hiya. Oh, that's a good one. I like where we're going with this. And of course, joining us again. Third time? Fourth time?
I live downstairs now.
Several. Yeah. He's hanging out at the bar with us. Rapids 2 GM Brian Crookham is here.
Yeah, I've got nothing cute like Yaya to say.
We'll get there.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Just a few more episodes.
Yeah.
That took a long time. That took almost 3 years.
Yep, of just workshopping stuff, throwing stuff at the wall.
Just being cute.
Boy, that whiteboard in your basement must be nice.
Man, it has like, have you ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah,
it has like
the
strings
Charlie meme
everywhere.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Trying to connect it.
It looks like a CSI episode, doesn't
Exactly.
it?
Yeah. And my face just plastered in the middle.
Crooks, we're glad to have you back. You guys just flew back from New York. Huge win.
Yeah.
What was, kind of walk us through the trip out there. I know there was some homecomings for Coach and for Omir, and there was Kamani's family.
The Met Gala.
And the Met Gala, of course.
We were pretty big on that.
Were you on theme with your outfit is the most important
Sleeping
question.
Beauty or something like that was the theme.
Garden of Time.
Garden of Time, yeah.
My wife is big into the Met Gala.
I'm big into
into
the Met Gala.
Yeah. Right. Well, I liked your outfit. It was nice.
Thank you. It was just 2 flowers, 2 petals, and that's it.
To be honest with you, the trip was good. I mean, it's business. We got out there, and it was the guys were focused from minute one. You get there, you look at the situation. We're getting ready to go play in a phone booth, and against a talented New York City team. But and off the back of Cincinnati, I think there was a lot to prove for the group, and the way they approached that match, the way they were focused going in, and there were a lot of distractions. It's homecoming for so many guys in the area, including Coach Omir, guys like that, where it is big, and it's a big deal for them. But the job at hand was top of mind the entire time, and again, with something to prove coming off Cincinnati. Couldn't ask for more from performance from the staff, from the players. It was a miserable afternoon in New York, but it was all of that's forgotten when you get a result like that.
You mentioned playing in a phone booth. Obviously, they're playing at Citi Field in the outfield, a little bit of the infield, maybe a pitcher's mound somewhere in there. But when Armis was talking to us at open practice last week, he talks about he wants to keep 20 yards from front to back in that formation. So does a smaller pitch maybe affect a team that wants to play so tight like that as much as kind of wide open clubs?
Yeah, I think it gives you a real advantage when you look at what our group does. I mean, if you imagine laying in a bed with a blanket that won't cover everything, that's what defending is in soccer. Because you can't cover 120 by 80.
Right.
You also can't cover whatever the supposed dimensions of that field are. But so if you stay tight and you keep things in an area that you want to defend in and you make it miserable in those areas, it's great. I think that played to our advantage because of the discipline, because of the organization of the group on the weekend. So it was a pretty I think things went to plan when you look at that, and I don't think the field size. I think field size may have actually helped us in that, and I think we were also, especially in the first half, very good with the ball, which you have to be in those situations because if you unnecessarily turn things over there, it comes to your goal very quickly. And I think great defensive structure, good use of the ball when we did have it, and took our chances when they came there in big moments and key moments and come out of there the right way.
I mean, there's so much you can take away from that game, right? You can talk Rafa getting a goal. You can talk Cole with a goal and an assist. You talk about the Moise kind of continued. We keep saying the rise, but this might just be he's just awesome all the time. And fellas, feel free to chime in on this one too, obviously. But I mean, what do you think the biggest story coming out of that game is?
I think the biggest story coming out of that is the team itself. Mm-hmm. This team is not built for any individual, whether that be a player or a coach for that matter, to stick out so far that you say, oh, it's about them. I think people doing their job within the system are going to get us to where we want to be there. And I think the way the team approached Sunday was a great example of that. And, we actually pay Hoffa to score goals.
Sure.
And score goals. We pay Cole to be up and down and be a pain in the rear end for everybody that he plays against and then punish him when he gets the chance. That is so Cole Bassett to make a play on one side, be able to join, cover the ground, and then finish on the other end with composure after you've just done all of that work and covered so much ground throughout the match. And, so people doing their jobs that are clearly defined for them in the moment that they need to be done, that's this team. And so it's hard to pick out individual storylines because there's 100 more of those little examples throughout the match and to get us into a spot where you can have success. So did I deflect the question enough and not single anybody out enough?
I don't know, man. Great. I feel like you're singling out Cole.
Yeah.
Next time we have him on, I'm going to let him know.
Yeah.
Okay. Let him know. Yeah.
I'm going to tell him to call him Manejo.
It'll be one of the greatest moments of his life, I'm sure.
Oh, it probably will.
Guys, you weren't on the post game. It was me and Andre. Shout out to Andre. I thought he was an excellent stand-in for the two of you. Not better, but good. Acceptable.
He did a good job.
You guys set a pretty high standard. So, quickly, like, what were your guys' biggest takeaways?
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the one that no one wants to talk about except for me. It's Kevin Cabral.
Wow.
Kevin Cabral continues to rise from a place that everybody was angry about.
That's a big one.
Last season and even into this season, where we are still struggling to try to find goals. Kevin's not quite there yet. But his work rate this year versus last year is night and day. It's a complete 180, at least from the eye observer view, watching the match. Like, I've been real impressed with his work rate. He seems to be all in this season. His game, I thought, over the weekend, I went back and watched. I thought he had an excellent game. He's just missing the net. Like once
he almost
that
had
ball
that
hits,
one timer that was like, that would have been a glorious goal for our guy Kev.
Once the ball hits the net, I mean, he's there.
Totally.
He's so close.
That's a good, and I think we talked about this a lot because it's so obvious with this team is the work rate, and I think the first RSL win was really the time that it was like, oh, they're gonna run people into the ground until the whistle blows. Period. But when I brought that up to Chris at practice one day, he was saying that, look, I'm doing this with 8 of these outfield players were here last year, right? So culturally speaking, how hard is that to shift a mentality and a culture in 11 games? I mean, that seems like you've been around so many different versions of teams that maybe it isn't as. I mean that in a great way. Obviously.
I know what you meant.
But I mean, how hard is that, right? Like,
well, if you look at, first of all, the tone was set by Chris and his staff from minute one, and same thing with the staff. The majority of the staff are guys that are holdovers from the past, including guys that have been holdovers from multiple staffs. And I think when you look at our group culturally. Oh, if you look at the 16 team, we had a group that literally everybody had a career year that year, and we were great. If you look at the 21 team, everybody were playing at the top, and they were all playing for each other. I don't think we've had a cultural problem within the group at any point. I think the recruitment of guys has been on. I think then it becomes getting all that energy and all that work and all that camaraderie to come together in one plan.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where the staff has done an excellent job, is saying, this is who we are, guys, and this is who we are within what we think we can do today. With the four of us, we know what our strengths are. We know what our limitations are. Here's how we're going to go apply that, and now go fight for each other with a plan. And I think when you do that, it gives you the best possible chance of winning every weekend. And hats off to Chris Armas and his group for instilling that plan into a locker room. And if you talk to Keegan, who's been here through those moments that we were talking about before, I think he'd tell you, these are guys that will go fight and die for each other on the field. So it's a fun group to be around. It's a group that I think's got each other's back on the field, off the field, and all around. And you see that come out in the 89th minute when you're under a little bit of pressure. This week in the 87th minute, right? When you're under a little bit of pressure and you need a big moment to change it, and you go, all right, guys, we got one more gear. Let's go. Let's finish this. Let's put our foot on their throats and actually get this done. And it's been fun to watch.
That's great. Yeah. How about you? What's your biggest takeaway from the game?
My biggest takeaway from the game was just the formation change, and just kind of picking up what Brian Crookham said. It's the way that this team is not built on a player or built on a coach. It's a very fluid system as long as everybody knows what they're doing. I think it was very smart of Armas, especially with such a small field, doing the 4-4-2, so it can take up more space in that mid block and that low block when you're defending, because it just really helps you out a lot more when you have more players forward, and when you can transition up, and Bombi is kind of playing as a 6 almost too, and you're letting Cole and Oli push up and be more of 10s. And I really do like that, because it just highlights what Crookham said, that this team is not built for one player. It's not built for one coaching style. It's built to, hey, you know your assignment. It doesn't matter how we line up. This is what you're supposed to do at all times. And I appreciate that from a team, because you have to be fluid throughout the season. You're not going to face the same team twice, the same style twice in a row. It's very rare in this league. And having that kind of fluidity just creates so many more problems for the opposing team. And being able to adjust to the opposing team, I think it was the biggest takeaway from at the end of the day. And you saw yield results. You saw Rafa get more scoring opportunities. You saw Cabral get more scoring opportunities. You saw Cole in a different light. We saw him as an 8 that carried the ball. This time he was more of an 8 that was willing to disrupt and just push the ball forward as quickly as possible. And again, that's the kind of thing that Armas has brought to his team. He's brought in a discipline. I don't think he's brought in tactics or anything else or besides discipline, and keeping guys accountable for what they do and they don't do on the pitch.
Look, I'll add to it. I won't disagree with you. I think he has brought in tactics. I think they're, because tactics become that we're all on the same page type thing. I think it's a different way of saying what you were saying there. I do think and even within that, the flexibility of saying this is who we are, but this is how we apply who we are, can change week to week. And then when you put Yappy next to Hoffa, and then all of a sudden you're occupying 2 center backs where Hoffa was having to fight 1 at times, that gives him a different perspective. It gives him that little extra bit of space or that little extra second to deal with it, and he punished them for that. And so I think you're right. In the combination of things, in the tactical situation that was presented to him on the weekend, that was the best way to set up, and was quite effective and put people in the spots they needed to be to go win a game.
What a win it was. Flying high.
So far, so good.
Man.
So far, so good.
And
I mean, you guys did beat New York, who was like on 5 unbeaten streak.
They're on fire.
Really good team. I call them the Rapids of the East. They're very similar in how they operate and how they play. And I thought going head-to-head with them was like the perfect...
Well, it helps when you have 5 home games in a row, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you beat them in one of them. Like, that's a great thing to do.
the Rapids have only had 3 2-game road trips, 1 2-game homestand so far.
Well, and look at the team. When you looked at the first 11 matches of the season and you said, all right, we're going to go to Portland, we're going to go to Seattle, we're going to go to San Jose, we're going to go to Miami, Cincinnati, New York. And you look at those away matches in there, and then you look at the home matches against people like Nashville, LAFC. Like, what a schedule to start this off. And you go, well, we're going to find out what we have.
Pretty quick.
And I think as many questions as there were in preseason and when the schedule came out, there's probably as many answers now about who we are, what we look like, and it's a long, long way to the finish line right now. But the positive signs, the DNA of the group that we're going to build on, I think is shining through right now.
Awesome.
And Porik has said in the past that he does like away games early in the season a little bit better, mostly because of weather and kind of that thing. It doesn't affect as much. Unfortunately, in New York, that wasn't the case. Weather was less bad. But how you're saying, it does play into the identity of the team. You're building a little bit of grit on the way. You're building a little bit of that. You're sharpening edge a little bit. So when you do come home, it's like a completely different beast. You feel like everybody's on your side, right?
Yeah, and I tell you what, we felt like everybody's on our side this year too, because I think our supporters have been great. We've had a couple of not the most weather-friendly nights already.
Yeah.
And people show up, and people are behind this group. And I think, honestly, I know we did some stuff with you guys early on when Armis was in, and some other supporter stuff. And, like, everybody seems to be bought in right now. It's a great time for the club, and we're unbelievably appreciative of the people that turn up every weekend and go, you know what, we believe that we can get this right.
Man, the turnaround in like 8 months, whenever August was, is crazy. It just the complete cultural, just being at open practice the other day and seeing the fans just be so excited for all the players and just being there to watch practice for a couple hours was like, if you told me that was going to be the reaction to a practice last year, I would have called you crazy. And here we are, being crazy and enjoying the Rapids right now. It's kind of fun. All right, we're going to get into, there's a question in the chat that's going to kind of lead into our second segment. So we're going to talk some R2 stuff, some of the draft picks, some, your other role with the Rapids. The more, you wear multiple hats, but we're going to talk about that hat. But first, we're going to talk about our friends at Toyota. We love Toyota here at DNVR. They are the official vehicle of DNVR. They've always been a part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling a huge dub back from New York City, there's a Toyota truck that's just right for you, like the all-new 2024 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser coming this spring. Toyota offers 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4Runner. And Toyota also currently offers more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker to give customers numerous choices to reduce their carbon footprint. There are 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max Hybrid Truck. Toyota SUVs take command on the road and on the trail, so you can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing a smooth city ride in SUVs like RAV4 and the Grand Highlander. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you: AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, shout out, that's where we got our car, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Colorado Rapids and the official vehicle of DNVR. We're also brought to you by our homies at Fubo TV. Man, a lot of fun TV to watch. Yeah, did you catch that Avs game on Fubo last night?
I did not. I fell asleep.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a late night.
I'm an old man, dude.
It's a late night.
I'm in
old,
bed by
I watched
9:30 nowadays.
Well, see, your team played early. You got lucky.
I got so much extra hockey last night.
A lot of
I
hockey.
got 3 overtimes worth of hockey between my two teams.
You got 3 games out of 2. Good
It was
for you.
awesome. It was awesome.
Look, you can watch those hockey games, so much more on Fubo. There's 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, news. You can stream live TV from any device. You can watch the most Colorado sports at the lowest price point. You can start watching immediately with a free trial. Literally, just go. The QR code right there. You can go and you can be watching TV instantly with a free trial. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Just sign up, start watching. They're going to throw in 1,000 hours of cloud DVR. You know how many reruns of Comedy Central shows I can fit into 1,000 hours? A lot. A whole lot.
15,000.
You know how many
Just made that up.
Futurama seasons I can pack in there?
all of them.
Literally all of them.
You could rewatch almost every Avs game like 3 times.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I was told there was no math in this.
Sorry,
There's not. I'm guessing.
I'm just making it
this
up.
is fake
Yeah.
math. This is ad math.
You think
baby.
I know math, Crookham?
It's a great point. Don't worry, I was not putting that expectation on you.
Thank God.
Well, look, you got the Rockies on there all season. Kind of hard to find on TV. Not if you have Fubo. It's actually super easy to find them on TV. You got NFL offseason stuff coming up. With you have some tennis competitions coming up. You got Copa. You got Euros, Champions League final, FA Cup final. What else am I missing there? Golf major season. Catch all your favorite sports, including the Rockies, on Fubo. www.fubotv.com/DNVR. That is fubotv.com/DNVR. Here's some easy math. When you sign up, just take 15% off your first month because you used our promo code there. Easy. Fubo TV. Shout out. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Okay. We are back. DNVR Rapids. Yahya, Duane, Mitch here with Brian Crookham, general manager of Rapids 2, radio. What else do you do over there?
Drive the bus.
Drive the bus,
Yep.
maybe do some jersey laundry.
Occasionally, yeah, definitely.
All that.
Look, it's got to get done.
Someone's got to do it.
Got to get done.
But so last year, obviously, Rapids 2, fantastic season. You had Oli, who's now a standout with the first team. You had Marlon Vargas. I mean, the list goes on and on. Seb Anderson, Remy.
Yappy to some extent.
Yappy had a great goal in the playoffs. Big turnover, though, this year for you guys. Really big turnover. Obviously, Ollie's a mainstay in the first team starting lineup now. I think we were all very happily surprised by that. I'm sure you weren't being close to, being that close to it.
No, but I think he seized an opportunity in there for sure. It's been what a story. I mean, it just everything about that story is awesome, and to see it kind of playing out the way it has to this point has been great. And we're proud of a lot of things that have happened in that space, and that is like the showcase of that right now, I think.
Does that help you out a little bit when recruiting players, when you have a success story like even Remy, who right now is in Phoenix and doing a great job? When you have Oli right now in the MLS, you even have Cole and Yappy kind of like showing that, hey, if you come through the Rapids system, it's going to help you. Does that help the Rapids to recruit more players?
Of course it does. I mean, it shows, because like we can show PowerPoints and presentations to people, but when it becomes reality, when we've actually done that, that means somebody else can do that as well. And in Ollie's case, where he was in the first team at one stage, he got hurt badly and is able to come back. That's one example, even internally with our group, saying, look, if you'll focus on the opportunity. We talked about tools earlier that we can use to get players into kind of optimal performance. For currently rostered players, if they have to spend some time in there, I would say if they get to spend some time in there,
lucky enough to spend some time in there.
It can be a tool that helps them get to exactly where they want to be. It's not a step back; it's a step on the journey. For guys that are in. For players that come from the outside, there is a clearly defined pathway for guys to come in, play well, earn a first team contract, and then be a part of what we're doing. And it's Chacon. It's you go to Remy. Even what we've done with Yosuke and being able to go down to Colorado Springs and get a different experience with that. Ethan Bondry lately, guys like this, like the whole process, and then the academy guys that come in, sign their first contract with Rapids 2, like an Adam, and then are able to move quickly through the process as well. And then we still have guys like Marlon Vargas who have come in, 4 goals in 4 games, and he's all of a sudden on a short-term call-up with the first team. So, yes, because we put our money where our mouth is in the way we use that tool, I think it helps us from an overall recruitment standpoint.
So you mentioned, guys that are splitting time, right? And that's going to be, your Kamanis and
Wayne Frederick.
Last year, Seb did that a lot. Well, you guys are actually this is part of the new episode of Elevate that's coming out soon. We actually have a clip. Alyssa, you ready to roll that clip? So this is talking about, getting minutes depending on the player and what they need spread out over games.
Man, you guys are high tech here.
Hey, we got it, baby.
I love it.
We wouldn't go over 90 minutes between the two games.
The 2 days, 90 minutes.
You
So,
can't,
and
right?
you're saying you
There's
can get to that.
Yeah.
But if we set it up to where, Wayne is playing at the 7, but his attacking role is as the 8, there's probably a little bit of flexibility there in terms of that piece. And we'll just have to be ready with 1, 2, or 3 possibilities depending on who you guys play.
So, when you have as many draft picks as you guys took this year, right? That's Kamani, Wayne, Nate. Who am I missing from that list? They're just drafted a whole bunch, but
Listen,
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the big names at the top of the draft board there. When it's guys who are like Wayne who got into a first team game this year but is on that team sheet and then the next day or the night before is playing with R2, that process of okay, he needs this minutes here but this training here, obviously a collaborative effort there and a lot of people helping make one big decision.
Yeah, just watch Elevate. It'll tell you.
Okay, cool.
No,
Done.
no.
All right, pod's over. See you later. Thanks for joining us.
It's kind of. I don't know where you guys get this stuff, but that's pretty awesome. We're dropping that episode today,
Yeah.
and it does
Hey.
talk about specifically. I think the way that episode ended up focusing was more on Wayne because of the situation throughout the week, and there is a feel to it. There is a science to it. Every guy is on monitors. We load management, the number of metrics that we look at, whether that's high speed running, XLs, decels, the things that go into physically being prepared, we have to monitor all that stuff. But the bottom line is we've got sports scientists in our group that are excellent at saying, you know what, let's find out what the end goal is here. And then we're going to work back from the end goal and say, if we need to monitor minutes, and I saw the question on the screen as well, like that, it's true for first team players as well. Maybe on a Tuesday, Cole Bassett needs to do a little bit less than he did than some of the other guys because of the work that he put in on the weekend. The same thing applies. If you look at what the clip we just showed, we were talking about guys and how many minutes maybe they can handle as a general rule, and then we've got to apply the science to that and say, yeah, but you got to remember that X, Y, and Z happened that put this load on them, and we'll adjust from there. So it's a collaborative effort. Every Monday we've got, I think, 24 people now on a Zoom call where we map the beginning of the week.
Wow.
Because we not only have to have the coaching staffs aligned, but then you have to have the sports scientists, the medical guys, and that's from the first team level, the second team level, the academy, the equipment managers, everybody that's involved, the team administrators. People need to know where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, and they have to take information with them to ensure that when they are there, we get the most out of them. And it takes a lot of coordination, and it's a club philosophy. We have full buy-in from the club, and we have full buy-in from top to bottom in the people that affect the technical area of the club. And it's it's a process, and so that's how we look at the whole week. And then, by the way, by the time Tuesday comes, we're already adjusting because something else came up that affects that, and how we have to go about it.
Quick shout out to Mark Weatherly in the chat. We weren't avoiding your question; just worked perfectly for this segment.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
Keep going, guys, in the Toyota chat there, delivered by the 2024 4Runner.
So, you've been around this organization for a long time, right? You've seen almost every team that's
Longest
gone
tenure.
through the...
Did you read my bio?
I actually did. I actually read your bio right before this just to make sure I knew everything about you.
Yeah.
But kind
Digging
of
through
all
my
that
trash
experience, what does that bring to Rapids too? And what does that bring to the Rapids? And how much has it changed over time for you as like a general manager, somebody that's been helping out with the first team? What does your experience bring to this team? Because I'm guessing it's a lot since you've seen almost anything that's gone on
probably not a
in MLS.
question for me, but I think I see my role as a facilitator. So what I do know is that I can I've got experience in all the every level of the club, probably on and off the field, and so what I can do is maybe use that experience to ask the right questions or help frame questions that need to be answered, and then go pull the information from the real experts. The coaching staff, the medical staff, the performance staff, who everybody that's involved in the process. I think it's just about facilitation and letting the key players work to their strengths and doing it. And I have this conversation with our staff all the time. Like I think sometimes I will jump in and try to micromanage a little bit, but if we set the philosophy, if we get it right from the beginning, and then let talented people go do their work, I think we're going to be successful. And so that's what I think experience brings, is just probably the knowledge that sometimes you can sit back and ask the right questions or try to push the right buttons without being too intrusive in it until you need to be.
Is it hard working with, because they're pro athletes, they're competitors, is it hard for some of the players to have to take a break to sit for a bit, or is it just kind of like, I'm in the system, yeah, I know today's an off day for me, or I need to stay on the bike, or...
I don't know many people. I mean, the bottom line is the guys that are in the group, and pretty much any soccer player that's ever been successful, for the most part, I'll say that, loves the game, right? And so they're there because of the soccer ball, because of the grass, because of the competitiveness and all of that. Every one of those guys would rather be on the field than on a bike. I will promise you that. And so nobody's rolling into the training room thinking, man, I wonder if I can get out and get on the bike today. It's just not reality. And I think sometimes it is the management of people to tell them, or at least ask, what do you think's best for you today? And get that buy-in, because we have to think in longer term. We have to think about Saturday, then we have to think past Saturday, and how are we going to get through a busy month of May with 2 midweek matches or whatever that is, and doing it. And when guys are on the edge of it, there are certain things that will push us over the edge with injury, and there are certain things that we know that pushing them a little bit or allowing them to go again, we'll still be all right with it. And that's again where the experts, the medical, the performance guys especially, give us a wealth of information that we can then use to make informed decisions. And sometimes the player might go, but I want... Well,
I feel fine, but actually you don't.
And by the way, then Wednesday night, go prove it. Look, Saturday's not going to be it for you. Wednesday will be. Give it everything. We're refocusing on that and making sure that you are going to be able to give us everything you got on Wednesday. So, these are human beings. They're competitive human beings, and before you can coach the player part, you got to coach the human part of. You got to understand the human part of that, and know where, I guess, to get in and communicate, how to communicate, what the best. Some guys learn differently as well. So, do we need to show them? Do we need to show them a picture? Do we need to, all those things? How do we get to know the athlete and then give them the relevant information in a way that they can digest it and use that? And in the end, they want to know what's in their best interest to have a successful career. Mm-hmm. And if we always can keep that top of mind, the short-term setbacks in a journey that kind of goes like this, as long as you're moving forward next week, I think we're all going to be okay.
How difficult is it to do that with such a young crew of players, with like a Wayne Frederick, a Nate Jones, and a Kamonster Baines, who sometimes are just all gas, no brakes? Like, does that make your job a little bit more difficult, or does that make it easier because now you can just kind of mold them to the way you want?
I think every single individual is different, and every single individual comes from different experiences. The one thing about guys like you've just mentioned, they've all been the best player in their environment for now 20 to 22 years, 19 to 22 years, right? And so it is education at times about, how to deal with it when maybe you're not an immediate starter. Maybe you're going to have to earn this. How do we set the environment? How do we, again, we know that and if you watch the Elevate episode, like that's a tool for Wayne, and to get into Wayne's head that, you know what, you made your debut last weekend, but we're going to get you some real minutes this weekend to refine some things so that next time you're even better. And we earn a little bit more minutes wise and all of that in a very competitive, talented midfield. And you go, look, this is the situation. Here's our plan for you. And I think if you can outline a plan, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get buy-in. Sometimes reluctantly, sometimes guys are going to go, but I think I should. Look, that's great because you want that belief in yourself. You want that drive to do it on a big stage. But, again, I think we have real experts in developing players and creating environments where players can maximize their talents. And so when you've done it, it helps you go back and say, we did it with this guy. Watch what happens here. Stay bought in. Be frustrated if you need to be frustrated, but here, this is the way it's going to go. And in the end, if you're talented enough and you're motivated enough, we're going to get you through the process.
This might take a second to get there, but I promise we're getting to the question here.
Do I need to take notes?
No. I think this is going to make sense. So I was at what I would call a lively practice last week, and there was a lot of R2 presence. Nate, Dowda, Wayne, Kamani. There was a big presence of those young guys playing, involved in. I think it was some 5-on-5s with an all-time in the middle, and physical, fast-paced, hard work. And then those guys who you were just saying, these guys were the best at, whether it was Maryland or wherever these guys came from. Practice ends, and instead of going in with the first team, they go and sit and watch and support R2 practice right after. So I guess the long walk there is, what have you seen from these guys coming in who now are earning spots, below some, Georgies and Zach Steffens who have seen, global soccer and making themselves leaders in maybe a part of their career that they're hoping to move on from as fast as they can in a good way?
I'll tell you what, I think I'll go to our scouting team, to Porig, to Fran, to the group of people that evaluates talent, and I'll say that I think character is something that we are pretty big on trying to evaluate coming in, because they have to fit into this mold that you've just described. Our guys do go back, and we see it all the time. It may be Yappy hanging out with the academy guys after he's made a first-team debut. It may, any of the guys that you've mentioned going back in. One of the biggest, I think, indicators of success for guys is that when they go into the second team, or they go from the second team into the academy, or whatever, when they're playing at a level that is not as high as they've already achieved at some stage, if they impact that level, it's a really, really big indicator that they can have success going forward. When Sam Vines goes back and plays in the academy finals, he impacted that team, even though he wasn't with them all year. And he didn't take it as, oh, this is just an assignment. It's, I'm there to make them better. I'm there to make myself better and all that. And I think it's a really big success indicator if they can go into a level that they once were in full-time, they've experienced something else, and they can translate their experience both backward and forward.
This has been such a kind of talking to everybody around the Rapids. It's a way different team. It's a way different Rapids 2 team, because you do have guys like Oli and Yappy. You have Bombi kind of graduating to the next level. And then you have guys like Hanya, Remy, and even, I forget the other name, but they've all they've all kind of moved on and done other things. What's the biggest difference between this Rapids 2 team and the Rapids 2 team from last year? And how does that leadership that you're talking about from Oli and all these guys affect the Rapids 2 team this year?
So I'll give you a specific. I won't give you a name, but I'll give you a specific example. We had a player that was going to get some experience in the second team, and he did not say a word. He didn't complain. Didn't do anything. But Oli went to the player and said, "Embrace this. This is going to be something that will help you. Look at what it's done for me." To have translators for the message being cultivated within the group.
Wow.
They've seen it. And maybe different than I could or Eric could or Armis, anybody else could, a player that's a peer to them can walk over and say, you know what, this is a good thing, embrace it, make the most of this opportunity and move it. So I think that influence in our group, again, people that have had success with it, being able to turn to somebody that's being exposed to it the first time and saying, buy in because this is great, is really helpful from that standpoint for sure.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's really the great story about Oli. Like, I didn't love Oli enough, right? Just keep telling us great Oli stuff. All right, we're going to get into our next segment, play a little game like we like to do when Crookham joins us. But first, we have to talk about our friends. We love our friends, and this is a new friend. Old DNVR friend, new DNVR Rapids friend, Breckenridge Brewery. Yeah, you love a Breck Brew.
Breck Brews are dope, man. They do the job in a good way.
In the right way.
Exactly.
They hit. There's a new Breck Brew, a West Coast style IPA, Ridge Runner, double dry hopped, inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails. Hop back infused with whole cone hops and a double dose of Citra lupulin powder. Wow. Bet you didn't know that was in that beer, Duane.
I don't even know what that is.
It's just pure
But it
hops.
sounds amazing.
And gives you great notes of bright citrus and pine. And if you're a beer head, you're going to love Ridge Runner. Delicious beer. Breck Beer is our official craft beer. If you come down for a game, I was here last night for the Avs game. There's Breck Brews all over this place. There's Breck Brew beer towers, buckets, drafts. Can't not come to DNVR and have a Breck Brew. They have a beer for any occasion. Like last night, a lot of Avalanche poured. A lot of Avalanche Amber poured. You know, we have the Mile High City Nuggets beer. You got Broncos Country, right? Like those occasions that you celebrate here at DNVR, you can celebrate with a specific Breck Brew to go along with it. Breck Brew's been doing it for 33 years, and it all comes down to their love and passion for making good beer made with 100% renewable energy. Wow, between Toyota's leading hybrid and electric, and then these guys going 100% renewable, we're pretty green over here at DNVR.
Yep.
I'm proud of us.
We're green in many ways.
Yes, that's true. That's a different ad read, though.
Completely.
Try out some of our favorites. We already talked about Avalanche. We talked about Mile High City. Talked about Broncos Country. Fun Slinger. We love a Fun Slinger. Love a good company hard seltzer. Yeah, you're a Mountain Beachman.
Oh, dude, I love my sours.
You're a Mountain Beachman for sure.
I am, 100%.
Check out your beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a beer near you. Shout out Breck Brew. Love to have you. We're also brought to you by an old friend that we love. Duane loves as much as any of us.
It's true.
Shady Rays.
Love them.
Man, we love Shady Rays.
They helped me out when I was too many Breck Brews in on that one post game.
After the takeover.
Yeah, that ALLCITY takeover last year. I actually don't remember that post game. I just remember my sunglasses. If I'm
You
honest.
looked great because you were wearing Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that don't break the bank. We don't want you to break the bank. We want you to have good stuff at a good price. Everything's so expensive. We're going to save you some money. With
Don't
our
break
friends.
the bank.
Don't break it.
But you can break your glasses. You know why?
Because Shady Rays, Duane, you're really good at
How
this.
about that transition?
If they ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by the lost or broken replacements. If you don't love them, exchange them for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk. When you shop, their teams always have your back with personal and fast support. Look, Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company. They have a world-class product. Over 5 stars by 300,000 people. Shades have durable frames, crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. Hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. They probably have a style in your favorite team's colors, which is true. I know. Duane picked out the Rapids colored ones.
It's true.
Exclusively for our listeners, not anyone else's listeners. Just ours. The 4 of us. You're included now, Brian.
That's good. Have you guys seen that? Have you seen that Huron pair that they just came out with?
Yeah. It looks
Sharp,
good.
huh? Sharp.
Real sharp.
What, you're about to give me a discount. I'm going straight. My
Better
phone's
believe
over
it.
there. I'm ordering straight off the phone.
Better believe it.
Telling you.
Exclusively for our listeners, Shady
True story.
Rays. They're giving out the best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. It's pretty good. It's probably a better deal than you thought.
I'll wear those on the show next
Let's
time. I come on.
go. God, you
Shady
love
Ray's
it.
gonna love
I'm
that.
ordering. I'm walking 10 yards. You would think they might just get them to me, but I'll do the 35% off.
Let's go.
That's cool.
Yeah, maybe wearing them on the show. You know, yeah, we'll talk to our guys. We got guys to talk to guys. And
We
we'll
got
make
guys?
we'll make some stuff happen. We got a lot.
Because I'm one of you guys.
Yeah, exactly. We got connects, man. Anything
Yeah.
we get, you get.
Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by 300,000 people and 5 Rapids by downtown Duane Brown.
It's true. All 5 of them.
All right, guys, we're back. DNVR Rapids. It's the fellas, Yahya, Duane, Mitch, super producer Alyssa on the 1s and 2s, and friend of the program, Brian Crookham. You having fun?
I am having fun.
Let's go.
It's
Love
not
that.
end. I got to go back to work at some stage. I don't want this to stop.
This is our work, so we are doing our
This
stuff.
is, yeah. Whoa, that's cool. When you put it that way, yeah, this is pretty sweet. Last time you were on, we thought as a fun nod to R2, we drafted movie sequels.
Right.
Lively conversation. We like to talk movies with our guy Brian. So we're going to talk movies again. We're doing a sports movie draft.
Can I set the expectations here? Because you keep coming back to movies. I haven't seen Forrest Gump yet
Okay.
because I haven't seen a movie that wasn't
Sure.
on, Y Scout.
Sure.
If it hasn't been a game, I haven't seen one. So I'm going to have to go backward a little bit
Okay.
in my selections. But I just want you to know the time frame that I'll be coming from.
I mean, are you a movie on a flight guy? Team flight?
I can be, well, not on our team flights.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
usually watching opponents on the team flights. But I will, international flights, I always watch movies.
Okay. See, look. So make sure next time it's a sports movie and you'll be ready for the sports movie draft.
I'm not afraid of this. I'm just qualifying what my answer's about
Sounds
to be.
like,
Afraid of
sounds
it.
like you're a little scared of losing to us in the draft.
If you think I'm scared of any of the 3 of you,
Crookham said, I was bred in the Rapids organization. I'm not scared of anything.
Anything. Love it. Okay.
listen, no.
So, same rules as always. 3 picks each. We're going in a snake fashion here. Cowboy Super Yaya gets the first pick, then Duane, then me, then Crookham, then backwards from there.
It seems like your guest would get the first pick. But
It seems like it, but I have.
But I guess when you're
I have screenshot proof of the random generator
It's
I did,
true.
and the random generator
okay, a random
said,
generator.
Yeah.
"Screw Brian Crookham."
That's
By
what
the
it's
way,
like.
my
That's
name-
what it
I
said.
get that a lot.
And
By the way,
ChatGPT.
my name is Random
Yeah.
Generator.
Okay. Yaya, with the first pick in the sports movie draft, what do you got?
I feel bad because Crookham just said that he was working backwards. The first movie I thought about when I saw this board, it's Rocky 1. Like, I love the Rocky. The first Rocky movie is great because they show that you don't have to win to be successful, and I do like that. That sometimes it's about the process. And I'm going Rocky 1 all the way.
You're a dinosaur kid. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like I love Rocky 1. It shows me I love the story behind Rocky.
I mean, it's classic.
Exactly.
It's the number 1 pick for a reason. I mean,
This is the easiest draft of all time. Like,
there's too many.
there's so many.
I went
easy
around the
picks.
bar last night. I jumped in the Avs watch along. I was like, because I didn't want to miss an obvious. You know when you do these lists and then you're like, how
This
did I
is
forget?
cheating. I didn't have the same resources coming into today.
You don't
the
have any
internet.
research. Just think of like great sports movies that you
But
like.
my point is, I didn't want to miss an obvious one, right? And I was probably 20 deep on the list, and then someone was like, "Did you have Rocky on there?"
You're probably 20
And I was like,
beers
"Oh my
in,
god!" No, not me. Other people were. That's why those suggestions got a little crazy. We'll get into those after the fact. All right, Duane, you're up.
I actually was afraid I wasn't going to get this, even at pick number 2.
Interesting.
I'm going with one of the greatest sports movies of all time, a foundational cornerstone
Jeez.
to most of our childhoods, The Sandlot.
Yeah.
This is a movie about
yeah.
about baseball, but more importantly, it's a movie about being with your buddies when you're a kid, when your whole picture of freedom is getting out of the house, getting on your bicycle, going to go play
Right.
baseball and talking trash to the other baseball team in town, going to the pool,
Wendy
trying to,
come on.
fake your own death for
I guess that didn't age that
for
well,
a chance
but,
for a chance with your childhood crush.
Now that
I
you
mean,
think
this
about it.
the one-liners alone that we
course.
grew up in our language from Sandlot is incredible.
All right, great
So that's
pick.
my number one pick.
Great pick by our guy Duane. All right, that means it's up to me. My list's still pretty much intact. Okay, I love a funny sports movie, comedy.
Sure, me too.
The serious ones are great, and I won't name any names to ruin the draft, but
Don't do this.
I like to laugh. No, I don't think we're on the same one here. But this one was another one that took me a while, and it's probably the one I've seen the most, but it took a while to get on the list because there's so many to think of. Football movie, Texas, fun,
Yeah. I know where you're
Varsity
going.
Blues.
Oh,
Yes.
I would have thought Friday Night Lights
Varsity
was better than
Blues.
that.
I said
Yeah.
funny.
He's going comedy
It's
route.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You got the Beaks.
It's good.
What's his name is the evil coach. Doesn't matter now because I'm not gonna be able to think of it in time. Just great. I don't want your life. Come on, great stuff.
Yep.
Great stuff. Love Varsity Blues. Whipped cream bikini. All right, we'll move on. Brian Crookham, your first pick in the sports movie draft.
Well, I think, like Duane, movies that reflect kind of our, how we see our personality come out. I think it's a clear number one to me, even though it walks outside of my comfort zone as far as sports goes. I'm going with Caddyshack. That
so
is
good.
a golf
Bill
movie.
Murray.
It is
Yes.
for sure. It's a golf
And
movie.
it ties in life.
John Voight. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, no, Caddyshack. I mean, come on. You got Bill Murray. You got
Legendary.
what's the animal? The little puppet. Man, I cannot think
It's a
today.
gopher.
Gopher. Thank you. God, that's a great pick. Caddyshack rules. I can't believe that went fourth. Honestly,
Yeah, that's actually one of those ones I should have probably gone earlier.
I knew that was a first rounder.
it's easy first rounder.
Yeah. You get to go again.
Yeah, you get to go again.
Oh,
You get back to backs.
all right. I'm going to stick then with my sport of choice,
Ooh,
and I am going to go for Victory.
wow,
That's a good movie.
great movie. Why is it?
That's a heavy hitter choice.
It is a very heavy hitter choice, but why? Why go with Victory? Why?
Legends of the game appear in the movie itself. The story, they escape, right? Mm-hmm. What more compelling story is to use a football match to escape in the war? I think that's happens all the time. And then it's just iconic.
That
It's
is
just
an iconic pick. Great pick. Man, okay, this draft is shaping up. I was worried because I narrowed the list down to 12 because there's 12
Pick.
total.
You're probably
picks.
not going to lose any because everybody.
I know.
There's
Yeah.
I
so
haven't
many
lost-
good choices.
I haven't lost one. Varsity Blues is gone. Okay, I did say I had to take this last night. I wasn't sure how serious I was, but this is for the real heads that know. 2-sport movie. The foundational battle for the whatever via a race. Taking Johnny Tsunami. The original race for the mountain. Surfer, snowboarder. Yeah, he did it all. He's one of the greatest athletes of our lifetime.
That's the Disney Channel classic, right?
Correct.
Okay, I wasn't that.
Had to
far
do
out.
it to him one time. Johnny Tsunami. Amazing stuff. Dwayne, that might have been a little ahead of both of your guys' times.
Yeah, that was not on my list.
Yeah, I no.
Foundational.
My next one is on
I
your
think
list.
I ate there one time.
Johnny Tsunami? Nice.
Did you eat Johnny or did you eat the tsunami?
Yeah.
Easy there.
Look. He surfs. He snowboards. He wins the mountain. He gets the girl. Perfect movie.
I
Perfect.
can't relate to any of that.
I've never seen that
Yeah.
movie.
I've seen that movie and it's a good one. Disney
Thank you.
Channel used to cook.
Yeah. They were cooking when they wrote that movie. Okay. Dwayne. Oh,
you
wait.
just looked me in the eyes and said you're taking one of my picks.
I'm just saying I'm taking one that would be in our age range
Oh,
that
okay.
Okay, well-
I thought you might have picked.
Before you do that,
So I was
Dwayne,
happy that you did not.
Before you do
Okay.
that, Duane, we do have to go to a quick
Do it.
short break.
Do it.
And we're back. Welcome back to DNVR Rapids.
That was the break I needed to get ready for
Really?
this pick.
Prepare yourself for the back end of this draft. Duane, you're up. Pick 2, round 2. Or pick 3, round 2.
All right. This is an old movie, but I think even a lot of the young ones have seen this movie. If you haven't, you need to go back and look at it. It is the least Disney movie ever. Don't watch it with your children. For one of my favorite sports. The movie is
I know what this is.
Slapshot.
Hanson
This
Brothers.
movie is laugh out loud, inappropriate, irreverent, and a beautiful take on minor league hockey. If
great.
you grew up not able to watch like pro hockey like me, and you had to drive just to see minor league hockey in Richmond, Virginia, where gloves just come off because screw it, we're in the minor leagues, and everything is just batshit crazy. That is Slapshot. That
Face
movie
off,
is
face
hilarious.
off, rip his face off.
It's so good.
I'm trying to listen to the song.
I love
That
it.
was in my top 5. I got to admit.
When I see those jerseys, I'm always like, you get it. You know ball.
Johnstown Chiefs.
Yes, of course. That's a great pick, Duane. Good job.
I love that movie.
To answer your question, Dustin, I did think about some skate movies, but these are probably more like narrative movies. I took out like some documentaries and skate videos
Yeah,
and stuff like
no.
that, just to make it more films. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, you're up.
My next one is Any Given Sunday.
Great one.
I love
Just
Jamie Foxx.
That's a good one.
Insane movie.
Jamie Foxx, Al Pacino, Cameron Diaz. Like, what else do you want? Like, you get everything in that movie. Bunch of like comeback story. You get a comeback story. You get a lot of like
Insane Lawrence Taylor.
exactly. Like, it's a great movie all the way. I love that movie, and nobody can take that. Like, it's just a fun movie to watch on a Sunday night.
It's a game of inches.
Exactly, and it's still used to this day. That's people still reference that to this day in actual games.
Great pick.
I love Any Given Sunday. And I'm back to back here.
You are back to back.
And this one is gonna be for the soul.
Okay.
It is more because I love it, and it's Happy Gilmore.
Okay,
I-
first one.
There goes
first
one.
that- yeah.
Okay.
I love this is an unpopular.
Just eliminated 2, you guys.
Like that's probably my favorite movie all time. If I'm just gonna watch something, I love Adam Sandler. He's one of my favorite actors of all time, and I love him screaming at the ball, "Just go home! What, are you too good for your home?" Great movie all the way from Adam.
So let me get this straight in your strategy. You left your favorite movie of all time that is in the category to the 3rd pick.
Yes, and this is why. Because I know
Jesus, you're never working on our draft. I'll tell you that. I hope they don't pick him.
The reason why I picked the last first Rocky was a strategy pick. I love Rocky.
We're gonna leave you for December, man.
I'm all cool with it. But like I knew you guys were gonna go for Rocky early. And I knew I had back-to-back picks. So I'm like, these guys are not taking nobody's taking Happy Gilmore with the first 2 picks.
Okay.
I'm like,
Get roasted.
Happy
Oh,
Gilmore's
that was
gonna be the
awesome.
first one. I knew it was lasting to
I'm
the 3rd round.
texting P and Fran right now and telling them I'm taking back my suggestion that you're on our draft team.
Oh, dude, good.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna end up with one of the guys ended up with Kevin Bonilla. Trust me.
Okay. Duane, you're up. Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
Your last pick.
All right, this is my last pick. It's funny. Again, it's another one of those good for the soul movies. The cast on this movie is incredible. True heavy hitters on this cast. And also educational in that before this movie came out, most people were very unaware about women's baseball. And that is a league of their
How
own.
did I let
One of
this
my
one
favorite
go?
movies. I could watch that movie over and over and over again.
Hanks, man.
Hanks,
Oh,
just
Madonna?
everybody in that movie.
come on.
Big
Just-
time choice.
The sister battle,
Oh, it's so good.
dropping the ball at the end to help out the kid's sister.
I love a yelling Tom Hanks. He has a great yelling voice.
Yes.
He yells a lot in
does.
that movie. God, he's good. Great pick. To me,
Yep.
final pick, man. Too much left on the board. I've narrowed it down to 2 sports movies from the same actor. a comedic genius, if you will.
Is it Rocky 2 and Rocky 3?
No, it is not.
I should have just gone with the Rocky. Rocky
That would have been hilarious.
No, I have to go
And victory.
with...
Yeah.
Little
Look, I
Stallone
have
and
one for the
Victory.
heart, but this one's for the people. Same actor, so it's just as funny. One of the most quotable movies of all time. Going The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights,
gosh,
baby.
that's good.
Come on.
That movie is so ridiculous.
Come on.
Was the other one semi-pro?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie. It's like my like low key, like hidden favorite movie that not everyone has seen or loves. But I mean, Ricky, you could quote Ricky Bobby all day long.
Yeah,
So,
you do.
Don't put that juju on me.
Baby Jesus.
I mean, there's so much. Yeah, the whole dinner scene with Grandpa, it's great.
Yeah.
I come at you like a spider monkey.
The mountain lion in the car, it's all great. It's all good stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a cute pick.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Cute
know,
pick for
you-
a cute guy. Cute host. Let's
You
go.
know me, Mitchell's all about the cuteness factor.
That's what I
But-
do. I bring the cuteness to the show. All right, final pick of the draft, Brian Crookham.
Yeah, I think, and there will be draft grades, and I know Weeby from MLS. Yeah, we're going to get draft grades in
course.
here. Yahya has just joined the Real Salt Lake draft team, which is great.
Dude, I was so mad when they took Kevin Bonilla. I was pissed when they took Kevin Bonilla. I love Kevin Bonilla. You don't know this. Like on Twitter, I was yelling.
So, in the spirit of my job
Sure.
and an honest movie that I watch every year, one specific night a year,
Okay.
I am going to go with Vontae Mack, and I am going to go with Draft Day.
Yep.
Vontae Mack, no matter what.
There you
So
go.
good.
We put up a meme on draft day. You can go back and look at this. But we did the sticky note and we said Nate Jones no matter what. And that was the most no matter what process to get him.
If you and I'll be on, like, watch that movie or watch the draft portion, the actual draft portion of that movie, and you will see this. To tell you the story about how brilliant Porg Smith was on draft day. We had unbelievable information from our scouts. We were in the right place, but it takes a little bit of that.
Right.
On draft day. P was a genius on draft day this year, and he has been in multiple drafts. But it was very, very draft day like in what went on and how we went around the block to get it. Probably a little bit more fair in the process than that.
Right, yeah,
I think he's good for everybody in the process and in the way he approached it. But incredible ties to
People
that.
are calling Porg Smith the Kevin Costner of Major League Soccer. People are saying this.
I love
Also,
the way
the
he got up.
Jean-Claude Van Gamme.
Correct.
of-
AKA Jean-Claude Van Gamme. Yeah.
I love how many times Portick was just on the phone during the break.
Every time.
Like
And
he
he
was just
stood up
walking
every
around.
time, yeah. That was funny.
That was a good time.
So, okay, obviously no one's going to trade 4 firsts and then that part wasn't necessarily accurate, but as someone who is in draft rooms and has drafted players, how is that movie just completely removed from reality, or is it pretty
I don't think it's removed from reality at all.
wow?
It's,
Because people trash it all the time. Like no one would draft like that, but you are
now
involved.
drafting like that. Obviously,
sure,
there were
but
some
yeah.
there were some over the top pieces in there, but there are core principles you might want to stick to. There's I know what everybody else needs in this process.
Mm-hmm.
How do we best find that? And again, to the point of like Porg Smith, like I think he finds solutions that everybody feels like they're in a good spot coming out of, and we still get what we want. And it's that's a great art because people don't mind dealing with us either. So it's a great place to be. But yeah,
That's awesome. Great draft. Crookham, thanks for coming back, man.
hey, anytime, man.
We're going to take you up on that. You shouldn't have said it because now you're just a
No,
regular,
I realize
so.
I shouldn't have said it.
Anything you want to
Talk
direct?
to my people, will you?
I will, Kinsey. We'll talk soon. Anywhere you want to direct the people, something to check out, something to follow along with. Your message to the listeners.
My
to follow along with
message
something.
is to follow along with us. Show up Saturday night. Be loud. We're going to need that in playing a resurgent. They won a game. San Jose Earthquakes team this weekend at home, and We are amazingly like it's so cool to be part of this community, and thanks to everybody that has stuck with us through the good and the bad. And we'll see you guys on Saturday. Oh, check out the Elevate episode that you guys somehow got your hands on before everybody else.
That's
did,
right.
too.
Yep.
I think that's
You got
dropping
people?
this morning or something too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
go check it out. That's what we teased it. We wanted
get yourself through Apple TV and all the
Yep.
things that go on there, and there's some good content on there, and our digital team is producing some unbelievable stuff. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah, go ahead and start plugging us out of here, my guy.
Real quick, DNVR Rapids on Twitter. Follow us there. Give us a 5-star review wherever you hear this podcast. We really appreciate that. It helps the numbers. Don't forget to press automatic downloads on Apple or Spotify. It helps all the numbers out as well. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to hit 100K as quickly as we can.
I want that plaque. Don't tell me they don't give them out anymore. I don't care. I'm going to act like we do. I want that plaque, baby.
We'll make you one.
That's right.
Out of
And by
wood
me,
and
I mean
paint.
us. I want us to have the plaque. It
With
is we.
stickers. We'll make one
Yeah.
with stickers.
It's a we thing, not an I thing. There's no I in team, obviously.
Yep.
Duane,
Become a diehard.
do it.
There's never a better time to become a DNVR diehard. Playoffs are happening. Takeovers are happening with the Rockies, with the Rapids. Man, the bar is crazy for these playoff games. You get 15% off your tab. You get a t-shirt with your subscription. There are some killer playoff t-shirts out there right now.
Oh, yeah.
There may be a Nugget that wins MVP. Maybe.
Hurry it up.
So, now's the time.
We can't jinx anything.
Now is the time.
Speaking of those events and diehards, you get tickets cheaper than others and early access to events. We have a suite at Coors Field coming up for a takeover with a party bus. Pre-game party here, party bus in a suite, party bus back, post-game here. Can't beat that with the Rockies crew. Susie Hunter doing a great job over on DNVR Rockies. We have a couple other Rockies takeovers as well throughout the season. Broncos are road tripping to New Orleans this year. True Fan Travel's helping us out there. You get round trip flights, airport transfers, hotel stay, welcome event, meet and greet with the crew, tailgate, transportation to the game, and a ticket. Can't beat that. Just make sure you're here for Avs and Nugs playoffs games. I mean, it's like Duane said, if you're not at the stadium, this is the best place. I bought an air raid siren that comes in on Friday for when the Avs score goals. It's going to be insane in here. And we're trying to just make it as fun as possible to watch your game if you can't. Because who can afford those playoff tickets? They're insane. So come hang out with us and have fun. Buffs, road tripping, Nebraska. Got to go to the Nebraska game if you're a Buffs fan. They're also going to Orlando for the Central Florida game. That's also through True Fan Travel. So you get the whole experience, get to hang out with the fellas, party before the game, stay at the hotel, just have a nice trip and hang out with the best DNVR folks there. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching as always. Thank you for Brian Crookham, as always. And as we always end it, guys, up the PIDs.
We all silly like the mayor.